Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever walked out of a meeting feeling like everything was clear only to realize a week later that nothing actually got done? You're sitting there thinking, wait a minute, didn't we just talk about that? Wasn't someone supposed to send me something? Why hasn't this moved forward? And then you realize nothing was actually assigned. Nothing had a due date, and now everything is just floating. That right there, that is one of the biggest operational breakdowns I see across businesses, teams, and even in my own work if I'm not intentional. And it's not because people don't care. It's not because people aren't capable. It's because expectations were never clearly defined. So today, we're talking about something that sounds simple, but is honestly one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your business and on your team today. Setting those expectations and due dates and holding accountability around them. Because here's the truth, if there is no due date, there is no real commitment. Let's talk about what typically happens. Let's talk about the we talked about it track. You're in a meeting, ideas are flowing, and great ideas are flowing. People are engaged, they're excited. And then someone says, yes, I'll send that over to you. Let's take a look at that together. We should definitely follow up on this. And everybody nods. It feels productive. But what actually happened? Nothing was documented. No one confirmed ownership. And most importantly, no one said when. So now everybody leaves the meeting with their own interpretations. You think they're probably going to send that to me today. They think I'll get to that sometime this week. And someone else thinks that's not really my responsibility. And just like that, you now have 3 different expectations for one simple task. And that's where things start to break down. And I want you to really think about this in your business, in your own business, or on your team. How many times has something fallen through the cracks, not because someone dropped the ball intentionally, but because no one clearly said, this is yours. This is when it's due. That's it. That's the gap. So why do due dates change everything? Let's simplify this. A due date is not just a deadline. It's a decision-making tool. It tells someone when this matters, where this fits in their priorities, what success actually looks like. Because here's the reality. Most people aren't sitting around waiting for work. They're actually juggling emails, meetings, client requests, internal project, and even personal responsibilities. So when you say, send me that when you can, what you're really saying is, this is not urgent. This is flexible. Get to it when you can. This can wait. And guess what? It actually will. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you need a report to move a project forward. You have 2 options of how to ask for it. The first option is, can you send me that report? The second option is, can you send me that report by Thursday at 3 p.m. so I can review it before Friday's meeting? Do you feel the difference? The second one connects to a purpose, sets the timeline, creates urgency, and aligns expectations. And now there is no more guessing. And this is where people sometimes get uncomfortable because they think, I don't want to be pushy. I'm not their manager. I don't want to seem demanding. I don't want to micromanage. But let me reframe that for you. It doesn't matter who you are. Setting a due date is not being demanding. It's actually being clear. And clarity is actually kindness in operations. So now let's talk about that accountability, because this is where things get a little bit interesting. Accountability without tension is really important. A lot of people avoid setting due dates because they don't want to have to follow up. They don't want to feel like they keep chasing the people. But here's a shift. When you set a due date up front, you're actually not going to have to chase. You just reference the agreement that was made in that meeting or even in the email that you sent out. Instead of saying, hey, just checking in, any updates? What you can actually say is, hey, just checking in. This was due yesterday. Are we still on track? Do you hear the difference? One feels like you're chasing this uncertainty, this hesitation. The other one feels like there's alignment, clarity, and shared accountability. And this is why due dates actually make leadership easier. And I'm not talking about leadership as managers. Leadership is for everyone, even as an individual contributor. So if you as an individual contributor need to receive something, you can follow these steps as well. Because now you're not managing emotions, you're managing expectations as an individual. Because you need something done, you're going to ask for it the right way. And I want you to implement that today. It will make a significant impact on the project, task, or work that you're doing. So now let's bring this back to you, because this isn't just about managing others. This is about how you operate. How many times have you told yourself, I will get to that. I need to do that soon. I will work on that this week. But there's no actual date attached to it. So what happens? It gets pushed and pushed and pushed again. And if you don't give your own work a due date, it becomes optional. And optional work doesn't get done. And this is where time management also gets impacted. So even for yourself, start saying, I will complete this by Friday at 12 p.m. I will review this tomorrow morning, because you are not just managing a business or a project or a task, you are managing your own execution. High-performing teams don't operate on assumptions. They operate on clear commitments. Every meeting should end with what needs to be done, who owns it, and when is it actually due. And nothing leaves a conversation without those clear expectations. And here's what's interesting. This doesn't make teams rigid. It actually makes them more efficient, because now fewer things slip through the cracks, fewer follow-ups are needed, fewer misunderstandings happen, and time management is set, and trust increases, because people do what they say they're going to do. You're not going to ask for something that doesn't make sense. Here's a simple framework you can start using immediately, and I want you to walk away with this today. It's a simple framework you can use, because at the end of the day, any conversation needs to end with, what is the deliverable, who owns it, and when is it due? That's it. 3 very simple questions. Write those down. What is the deliverable, who owns it, and when is it due? And if you want to take it one step further, add, what does done look like? Because now you've defined ownership, the timeline, and expectations. That's the operational clarity. At the end of the day, this isn't about being strict. It isn't about pressure. It's about removing the confusion, because confusion creates delays, frustration, and missed expectation. And clarity will create your momentum, the trust, and the actual results. So the next time you ask for something, pause and ask yourself, did I actually set a due date? Did I set owners? Do we have a deliverable? Because that one small shift can completely change how your business and team operates. If this episode resonated with you, make sure you follow the Optimum Method podcast, where we break down how to create, optimize, and operationalize your business or your team so it runs with structure, not chaos. And if you're ready to take this further, check out the Optima templates and frameworks and guides designed to help you implement this into your business or team immediately. Because remember, structure creates freedom and clarity drives execution.